one of the first messages we have for the schools is just how much our industry has changed, because there's been some dramatic changes over the last 20 years. It used to be an industry that didn't attract perhaps the people who were interested in a great career. It was more perhaps more of a basic level of a job. But what's happened is that since the trade barriers were dropped from the late 1980s through the 90s and since then, and New Zealand has been exposed to the international marketplace in fashion, there's just so many opportunities now. The other thing that happened was a lot of the people who were involved in the industry before had perhaps one job, one set of skills, and didn't diversify a lot. And they more or less worked in one area, did the same job repetitively. And so a lot of them have left the industry now, but they've also taken a lot of intellectual property intellectual knowledge with them. And so there are gaps in industry knowledge where we're finding that the graduates from New Zealand Fashion Tech, when they're actually being employed in the industry, are actually filling those roles and going into middle management roles, going into overseas production. And because we in Fashion Tech teach them everything from the machining skills, from the base levels, production skills, pattern making, specification sheets, fashion drawing, right through the whole spectrum of skills, they're actually really well placed to actually fill those opportunities. The other thing that we've done for schools and for students in schools is that we've prepared programs which are based on unit standards. In fact, the unit standards come from the national certificates. And it begins a pathway career for students because it's so hard for them to pathway from school into a career progression. And so what we're finding is we're prepared these STAR and Gateway programs, and increasingly teachers are using them, sometimes just for one student who may be interested, sometimes for a group of students. These programs are hands-on programs, and they introduce, they're easy to follow, and we moderate the marking that the teachers have done. And so it's just a way to actually bring some industry knowledge and early learning down into the schools for the students to actually see if it's really what they do want to do. The thing for our students is we have 91% of our graduates are retained on the programs and get their qualifications. We have 81% who actually go on to employment at the end of the program or into the higher level of training and then on into employment. So those are records that can't be matched by anyone else in the fashion industry, and it shows that we're really focused on industry programs that mean something and are going to be useful to people. We want them to be able to work in this industry all their lives because there's many opportunities in there for them. And the more skills they have and the more they've enjoyed their learning, the further they can go. Another thing we really enjoy doing is actually either some of our team visiting schools, and sometimes for us careers night or day, and sometimes there's teachers and parents who want to talk to the team and find out a bit more about the industry, that they're not really up to date with what's happening in it, what sort of opportunity it has for their kids. And the thing we really like doing is groups of students that are interested, really interested, coming to visit New Zealand Fashion Tech sites. They can see the students, they can walk around, look at how we learn, they can maybe spend some time, have morning hour or afternoon tea with us, have a presentation and learn a little bit about the industry and the opportunities in it. And we find that's a really good way. It breaks down a barrier for the students who might be a little bit scared about going into tertiary education. And they find out that it's maybe just the same as their school, just a place that once you're familiar with it, it's a good, enjoyable place to learn. Another thing we've done for schools that we really enjoy are work choice days, and the Work Choice Trust actually has an arrangement with New Zealand Fashion Tech where students come for a whole day rather than half a day, and during that day we have workshops where they actually work in groups of we mix up all the schools, the kids from different schools, and they have teams and they have competitive games. Each one of them, 4 of them during the day, learns a different aspect about the industry. One will be about communication, one will be about teamwork, and the exercise is a lot of fun, and we get the careers advisors and the teachers involved as well. And what happens is that by the end of the day, everyone's really fired up and learning that advanced learning can be fun and enjoyable, and it needn't just be an intellectual sort of drain on people's energy. They all enjoy it.